Good. Let's use it now inside the order repository, because the order repository needs to, first of all, we need constructor. So let's make a public order repository right here to make that constructor. There we go. What did I write here? Public. Let's just write public instead. The order repository, and just add the curly brackets right here. And there we go. Now we have our constructor, and our constructor is of course going to, from the outside, get a customer app context now. Customer app context. There we go. And let's just call it context. And let's just see if we can find that from somewhere. We'll do a control dot and say I want to be using the context. Let's just do that again. I want to be using the context right here. There we go. Now it knows to get the context from this place right here. Good. Now the context, I'll just store that locally. So I'll make underscore context equals context. And again, it's really up to you how you want to name these. I think I'm into the underscore thing right now, but it changes depending on the place where I work. So now I have the context available that I can start actually creating, deleting, updating, and working with customers in general. And again, this is just a recap, because if you go into your customer EF memory right here, you'll notice that that's exactly what I'm doing all the way down here, the exact same thing, right? So I just have to redo all of these things now for a customer now. So without further ado, let's try and actually do the create one right here, and we'll do it very easily. We'll just say underscore context, and we'll go and grab, remember now we have to talk about what table we want to put this into, and we want to put it into the orders table. We want to add oh, it says cost right here. Let's put in order instead. We want to add the order. That's what we want to add, and then we want to save the changes. So do we? No, we don't, because this is not a unit of work. The unit of work will take care of saving the changes. Okay, sorry about that, Lars. Yeah, chill man. Yeah, okay. So instead we'll return the actual order right here, and then we're done. That was the create function. So that was the create. Now let's do the delete. And the delete, I also did that in the last lesson. So we'll make a var here, and we'll say order. That's the order I'm going to find here. And I'm just going to use my get function that we're going to build in a second to get the specific order with the ID. So now I have the order from the database, and the ID I'm going to use is this guy. So let's just capitalize the ID. There we go. So now we have the order available, and that order, I'm actually going to remove that order. So I'm going into the context again, and I'm going to say orders. I'm going to find that order, and I'm going to remove it right here. And the order I'm going to remove is order. There we go. And then in the end, I'm just going to return the order that I just removed. There we go. Now we can start discussing again if we should return the order or whatever we should do. But it's time now that you as a team figure out which one you should use. Because after you've written a lot of code, it's harder to go back and say we should only return a Boolean value here. It's a lot easier right now if you want to do it. So now let's do the get one. And what we're going to do is we're going to return underscore context dot orders, and we're going to say dot first or default, meaning that we're going to find the first order, or we are going to return null if we don't find any. And notice this doesn't work, and that's of course because we need to do a control dot and say we need to use system link. So if you get this error, that's what you have to do. So there we have this first or default, and here we're going to say, oh, the order we're going to find is going to have the ID matching that ID that we're passing in from the outside. Ta-ta! Get all is very simple again, that's the last one, and then I know this is a long video, I'll do my best to finish this up. I'll do a context again, I'll say orders, and I'll say toList to get the entire list of orders as a list of orders. There we go. This one is actually ready now for us to start using it. We're all done, and we send in a context, we create, we read, and we delete. That's all for this lesson. See you next time where we'll play around with actually using this inside our unit of work.